Sports is not just about stats, and reality TV is not just about love or drama in this case, but we're going to be spilling the tea every single week. So welcome to another episode of Fan Up. Today, we have a very fun guest because she's a friend of mine, and you guys all know who she is because she's taken the internet by the storm, taking reality TV by a storm. She's always been a boss. I've known her, 5 years now?
I think longer.
You've always been such a boss, and now I'm glad the world gets to see. So this is Bre Tiesi. You guys are from Selling Sunset. You also were previously married to Johnny Menzel. So we got a lot of sports and drama in Selling Sunset to talk about.
Yes, we do.
So first, I kind of want to, because obviously Selling Sunset, I think it's the best reality TV show that's ever been created, probably.
I agree, unfortunately. You know, I'm fighting for my life daily, but I have to agree. Yeah.
So, okay, we need to know, like, behind the scenes. What is it actually like? Like, is the drama actually happening? How are you surviving? Because I have anxiety for you.
Lots of tequila. Wine. I'm just kidding. But no, it is all real, unfortunately, for me.
All the drama is real.
I'm telling you, I wish on everything that I could say we made this up. Like, it would make my life so much easier and it would be like so much less stress. But truly, we're all just that batshit fucking crazy.
And so
it's unfortunate, honestly. Yeah.
Wow. So they don't tee up like lines for you guys. It's really just like this actually happened.
No. The only thing I could say is like orchestrated is like, you know, location wise where you're going and like with who.
Yeah.
But that's kind of it. I mean, at that point, it's really just putting us all in the same room, and the way shit goes down. Like, I don't even know. I don't understand how it happens. Like, you're like, you can't make this up. It's crazy.
Okay, I filmed a pilot for a reality TV show once, and it was like my best friend and I were on it. And when she would get in front of the camera, she was very different than she is in real life.
Yeah.
So do you think it's a lot of that? Like, they just know how to turn it on, a different side of them?
Yes. Some people, like Mary, for instance. Mary is just Mary. Mary is just a girl on the show. Yeah, she's just her. But a lot of people, they have kind of like their role, their edge, or I think what they think is going to do well for them. So I do believe that to a certain degree, people are very strategic. But when you get in these situations, sometimes you forget you're filming and people just fly off the handles. Like, it's truly something that like you're so indulged in for so many months on end that at some point, like, we all go like, oh fuck, what did I say? What did I do? Like, you don't even remember at that point because it's just all day, every day.
Has there been any moments that you regret?
Never.
Oh, okay.
No. I mean, I just don't live like that. At the end of the day, I'm like, yeah, you saw me be a crazy bitch. I am a crazy bitch. I don't know what to tell you. So like in that moment, I did exactly what I wanted to do. And if you don't like me for it, I don't give a fuck. But am I allowed to cuss here? Wait.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, okay. I was like, I sound like a sailor. So hold on. Okay.
Yeah.
We're all good.
Okay, good.
So where do you stand right now with the other women? Like, are you, because there was a moment you were like,
an island.
You're on an island.
Yeah. Where I normally stand, on an island.
Wow, because for a moment you were like really close with a couple of them. Yeah. Never Chelsea. You never were close with Chelsea.
No.
But Chriselle.
Yeah. I mean, at least I thought I was close. Apparently we weren't. So, you know, I mean, I think as things just progressively got worse, I knew at some point they were going to choose a side.
Yeah.
And I obviously knew their relationship with Chelsea outplayed ours, and she had been around and been friends with them way longer than I was on the show.
So they basically chose Chelsea.
Yeah. Which is fine.
But why would Chelsea make them choose? That's also immature.
I know, but
it's like we're grown adults. If you want your own friendships, like that's you, you know?
Since day one, she'd be like, I'm so glad somebody saw what I saw. Like, she's been trying to like force them into choosing. And when they weren't originally, that's when she tries to play nice with me.
So is that the only reason they're not your friend?
Basically, yeah. I mean, we've never even talked about it. Like, it literally was like, I told Chelsea about her husband cheating, and then it was like a fuck Bre thing. And I was like, I didn't fuck your husband.
And that was real. That was real. You really were the one who told.
I can't make this shit up. Like, people are like, this has to be. I'm like, no, our world is just that crazy, and our group of people all know each other.
Yeah.
And so a friend literally came to me, told me that she saw it from a guy that was living in the building.
Yeah.
I went straight to Chelsea, not on air, not filming, told her first.
Outside of the camera.
Well, I technically told Emma first, and then Emma wanted me to tell Chelsea face to face. So basically I was like, okay, I'll tell her myself.
Okay.
And all of this was off air. So, you know, they're blaming it coming to air being my fault, but the person who told me actually ended up on that season. So is it my fault?
Wow.
Wait, but how did they decide? Like, could Chelsea have said, I don't want this to be a part of the scene?
Absolutely.
And she wanted it.
I mean, if I didn't want something on air, it's not making it. So I don't know what to say about that. I mean, yeah, Netflix does what they do and production does what they do, but at the end of the day, she's still a main character on our show, and I truly believe that something that was so awful, if she really didn't want it, like, she has more power than that. But, you know, to each his own, so.
Wow, I mean, this is crazy. I'm getting so much tea right now. Okay, so this is who would be like, gun to your head, who would be your favorite? You had to choose right now, you would go to lunch with.
I love Mary.
I
love
feel
Mary.
that. I see that through the screen.
I love Mary Amanza. We have a new girl. I like her a lot.
There's always a new girl. Talk about that.
Always. Every season we have at least one, usually two.
Because that was you like 4 seasons ago,
yes,
right?
with Nicole.
Okay.
Which, God bless.
Oh,
but
Nicole.
I don't even know where to start with that girl. I'm like,
okay.
Oh, honey, just throw in the towel. But yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot. So, I mean,
the new girl you like.
Yeah, she's
because probably you come in and you're like, it's all like you're nice to everybody, and then you get in the trenches.
Yeah, and then it's like, fuck you all. Like, I don't even. Yeah, I
so
literally
what's the
don't
work
care.
environment like when y'all go show up and film? Are you not talking when the cameras are off?
Absolutely not. And we like don't even make eye contact, and everybody's just like looking anywhere else but at each other. Like, we won't even film together at this point. Like, it's not good.
Okay, I have a question about your outfits and your makeup and everything.
Yes.
Because
Fire.
you guys look insane. Production pays for that, right?
You should pay for it. You guys should pay for all my shit. No, they don't pay for anything.
Because glam and that's a lot of money.
Egregious. I actually had a mental breakdown today because my glam wasn't available, and I was like, so I have to go looking like a troll to
No, you
interview.
look insane. You're the most gorgeous woman I've ever seen in my life. You guys, she looks like how she does in camera in person.
I was very sad, but then I was like thinking about my bank account, and I was like, actually, it's really good that I didn't have to pay for you guys today.
Yeah, they're probably like on call.
They are, yes, but they're ridiculously expensive. Like, to be on this show and to come your full self, full glam, like, you know, full outfits, everything, it is very expensive. Yeah.
Wow. And so do they pay you well? Obviously, there's a lot of opportunity post-show.
Yeah. It's one of those things that you gradually, you kind of have to earn your pay type of thing, kind of like in any job, you know.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. So
like you move up every season.
Yes. So like the base rate is shit, and then from there, you know, you work up from there.
Yeah, because probably most girls are like, I want to be on the show.
And that's the problem.
Okay, so here's the other tea. Obviously, maybe you can't talk about it, but are you really selling houses? Who's a really good agent? Who's not?
So I think the thing is with me personally is I only work with clientele that I personally know. So they have to be friend of a friend or somebody that I do business with. And, you know, I do have kind of like a price range. I'm a little bougie when it comes to doing it because I more so even like the commercial side to be fully transparent, which they don't really show on this show.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's something, and all the developments I do, Predevelopment in Miami and other places, like they, for whatever reason, don't like that aspect. It's not as entertaining. But yeah, so we all kinds of do. There's some that do a lot more than others.
Okay.
But yeah, it's kind of, it's one of those things that you're your own boss. You do as much as you want to do. You can technically do one sale and not have to work the entire year.
But that's real estate in general. You know, like I was an
Yeah.
agent forever, and it's like, it's hard to do business in LA.
hard.
It's a competitive market. So if you get 1 or 2, 3 listings a year, like that is going to pay your bills, you know? You're good. You don't need to be doing 100 listings a year to be a good agent, you know?
No, you definitely don't.
Wow. Okay. Sorry, Tez. That was a lot of talk.
No, it's great.
He's
I
like,
love
what
it.
the hell is happening?
We do want to talk a little bit because our fan base is sports. So, but also reality TV. We talk a lot of reality
pop
TV.
culture,
because it's
sports, music.
women in
love
sports. That's our whole, which is great. But you were married to the famous Johnny Menzel.
Was.
I kind of want to know just like how that transpired, how old you were, like how that all happened.
Yeah.
Like how'd you meet Johnny Menzel?
You know, I met him in the club.
Okay.
That sounds right.
That sounds about right.
With Johnny, for sure.
Yeah, that sounds pretty on par. But yeah, I was working in Vegas at the time.
Okay.
And I worked at Web Republic and Encore and all the clubs.
Okay.
And he was one of our regulars. And at first, I was more his babysitter.
He was a regular in Vegas.
Yes.
Why was he in Vegas?
Exactly.
He's a girl. That
So
should have
many
been your
questions.
worst.
So many questions I should have been asking myself. But yeah, he spent a lot of time there. We ended up becoming really good friends, and then it turned into something else. Yeah.
Yeah, and you were 25, right?
We got married when I was 25. So I think I was it's all a blur. I think I block it out, but I think I was 24, 23, somewhere in there.
I do that with my exes too.
Right? I'm like, it never happened. I don't know what you're talking about.
I forgot. Somebody brought up my ex the other day, and I was like, that girl died. I don't know who died.
Like, who? I don't know that.
I don't know that relationship. I don't relate to, but
no, and we're still cool. Like, we still have a great relationship, and I'm glad we've like moved past our divorce and all of our madness.
Why did you get a divorce?
Because he's Johnny. What?
Okay.
What?
Okay.
He wasn't. He's Peter Pan. He never wants to grow up.
Okay.
You know, and I want to have a career and a stable life. I don't want to have to go hunt you down in a bar, or whatever. So
you were trying to save him, and he wasn't savable.
No.
Unsavable.
Yeah.
So what was his football career like during your guys' marriage? What point of his career was that?
So he had just been, I guess, suspended from the Browns.
So he was already in the NFL.
That. Yes.
He already won the Heisman, gets drafted.
Yes. All of that.
Okay. And he was with the Browns.
It was, I think at that point he wasn't really sure if he was going to be able to go back at all.
Why did he get suspended?
Supposedly it was an ex-girlfriend, some sort of altercation, but I think it was a bunch of things because I heard about the wig in Vegas partying when he was supposed to be playing. I don't know. I heard some crazy stories. But that's not, I don't know too much about sports. I just remember he was always, TMZ, whatever it was. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing now? Like, someone get him. But yeah, I think it was all of those things kind of built up, but they were like, oh, we don't know if we can manage him.
Were you living in Ohio?
No, hell no.
So he was playing there.
Oh my God, no offense, but
you
no.
guys were married. You guys
No chance here in Ohio.
Guys. Like, no.
You were married, and he's playing in Ohio.
No, so he's done. He's like on suspension.
Oh,
so
he's suspended. From the
he's
Browns.
suspended. Yeah, so that's probably why he was partying in Vegas.
Okay.
And then, but at this point, he wasn't at the point.
So you never
of
really
no
got the
return
WAG
yet.
experience.
No, because he went to go play in the CFL, and I do not consider that a WAG
No,
experience.
that's definitely not.
The CFL? I had no idea he played for the CFL.
Yeah.
Well, he was trying to get back into the NFL.
Yeah.
Because teams had kind of labeled him toxic.
Yes.
And, obviously they weren't taking a chance on him. But if you can play well in the CFL and prove that you've humbled yourself, and you can obviously get a chance to come back. Yeah.
So that was basically what they told us. And there was a guy, what's his name? Not Sean.
Did he make enough money at that point from his draft and everything that he was still living good, or what was the financial situation?
Yeah, I mean, when I feel comfortable talking about this because I just recently said something about it, but when I had met him, he was on the tail end of, I want to spend all my money and take myself out vibe. Like, he was very mentally unwell, and that was when we kind of got him the help that he needed, and he was on the up. And we were talking to a team, Saints, I think it was.
Okay.
And they were like, if you can do good in the CFL, like, we will sign you.
Oh, so he's like, I'm all in. Okay.
And so he went to the CFL, and he got kicked out of the CFL. So yeah, so it was like, all right,
how do you get kicked out of the CFL if you're Johnny Menzel?
Yeah,
he did.
Because that just shows you, he was such a talented player.
Much fun to
we
watch.
all, so much fun. Yeah, and it does not matter if you can't keep your shit together. Ted, talk about that. Would he always do that?
Like this all the time.
How many times did you do that around the house?
I said, don't you dare. So you better take that money shit outside. Like this. I'm like, bye.
Wow. So how long were you guys together?
We were married for a year. Our divorce was longer than our marriage. I think it was 2 years. So technically we were together longer. So I think altogether it was 4. But yeah.
So what made him, he's spiraling, he gets released. What made him propose? What made him think he was ready for marriage?
I think this fucking knows. But I think that at this point when he had first proposed, this is when he was like, oh, I could get my shit together. So this was well before the CFL.
You would be a great decision to do that.
He's like, she'll do it. I'm like, wait a second, hold on. I don't think I signed up for this.
She knows her shit. She'll take care of it.
Exactly. Which is what I ended up doing. But he has a good side and he had good intentions.
Totally.
I think his demons were just a little stronger. So unfortunately, it wasn't successful for him. But
and what is Johnny Menzel doing today?
He opened some bars.
That actually fits him. That fits him.
So he has bars throughout Texas, and he actually...
He went back to Texas.
He did, yeah.
Okay.
And I think it's at... What is that area where all the colleges at... what's his school?
He went to Texas A&M, right?
Thank you, A&M.
Yeah.
What is that... where they all...
Austin?
Gates? No, there's where they all party and drink, whatever that is,
I don't
that's
know.
associated. That's where they opened it.
Oh, okay, that does make sense.
Yeah. So
yeah, and I'm
it's
sure
doing
he's
great.
still a legend in that area. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Like he's still. I think I always say this to him, like, no one can take away what you've accomplished. It's unfortunate of like everything else that transpired, but at the end of the day, you're still you. You still did what you did, and like, no one can take that from you.
He's still a household name. Like we all know his name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He has a docu-series about him, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a big accomplishment. And like, obviously sometimes the ups are up and the downs are down. And I've seen that with a lot of people who've achieved a lot of success, especially being so young. That's not a normal, it's comparable to drugs. And that's why they get into drugs is these highs. You go play this game and everybody's shouting your name and then you go to a dark room by yourself. And that silence is hard to bear when you're used to so much. So it's like, you have to be at this crazy dopamine release level that a lot of times that's why they go to drugs, because they need that dopamine release.
Absolutely.
Because they're used to it. And we've experienced that in our career and even with little in a different comparison. But that's something I've struggled with where I'm like, whoa, like we're used to so much attention and then all of a sudden like that could change at any moment.
Absolutely.
And it's not a normal amount of attention.
No.
You know? I can only imagine what he's gone through. You know, we can't fight his battles, but I'm glad that you are out of it.
Same. Wish him the best, love him to death, but you know.
What do you see, like, you're not into sports at all, right?
I'm about to be. My son is forcing me into them. So, and I'm
There
not,
you go.
I'm not against it. I just grew up in an all-woman household. So like, I just never learned or really knew. And I was actually telling someone this story earlier. They're like, what's your exact, like, how much do you know about sports? And I'm like, well, let me tell you a funny story. This is how much I know about sports. Johnny's trying to teach me football.
Okay.
And we're watching on the TV, obviously. And he's like, this is the yard line. I'm like, okay, bro, whatever. And he's like talking, and then he's like telling me the yellow lines, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, the yellow lines. Okay, I got it. We go to the fucking field, and I'm like, where's the yellow lines?
Yeah.
They're digital, and that's about how much I got. And I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I don't care.
Yeah.
So I literally had no idea. I didn't understand at all. And he was like, you know what? Just sit there and be cute. I was like, great. I can pray and cheer and scream, and that's all I got.
But what if Legendary goes pro?
Then I'm going to have to learn something.
What sport do you think he can do?
He's obsessed with basketball.
Oh.
Obsessed.
He might need to be 6'9".
Yeah, that's probably true. I know. I don't think
Unfortunately,
he's maybe be 6 foot, but I don't think he'll be that tall.
He could maybe be, what is Steph, like 6'5"?
Steph is probably like 6'2".
6'2"?
Is he?
6'2".
Okay, because his dad's like 6'1".
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, maybe he could be like pushing it, but he's obsessed right now.
Wow.
That golf.
He should do
Wow,
golf.
Yeah.
that's
Get him in
incredible.
golf.
Obsessed. And fighting is like, I'm terrified. I'm like,
Are you gonna like
fighting.
watch the Masters with him this weekend?
Sure, no. I'm like, the what? I'm just kidding.
Masters?
I'm like, no.
Golf would be good.
I can't get him to sit too long to watch anything just yet, but like to actually physically do it, he will play for hours, and he's actually really good.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay. And he's
That's
like,
all
a
I
little
want,
ball
kids.
player in your hand.
yeah, I love
that.
it though. I'm
Yeah.
like, great. I love this for you.
Wow. Okay. And so where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I just opened a Pilates studio.
You did.
I did.
Congrats.
Yes, thank you.
In the Valley?
In Calabasas. Yeah.
Oh my
so
God.
I'm super excited. We're technically not open, but we're almost done. So we have like another month. I hope to like franchise that. I'm hoping to I have a place in Miami. I kind of want to be part-time, or I want to be part-time Europe. Like, and my son right now is on his fourth language.
Wow.
Fourth or fifth. He's like,
Incredible.
my whole attention, I really want to be in the next 5-year plan is like just him and getting him everything. And
How have you taught him 4 languages?
Oh, I did nothing.
But what's the protocol there? 'Cause
So
I
I have
that.
tutors, and my nanny speaks Spanish, and so we have the tutors, and he's playing chess, and he's like doing the most. Like he is so far.
Oh, he's gonna be a super kid.
Is he learning Mandarin?
That's my next one. So we started it, and he didn't really like it,
Yeah,
and
tough.
which I hear a lot. And they said it's very normal, but once he has French, he's doing Italian, French, Spanish, obviously English, and then we're hoping for the Mandarin.
Italian is the best.
So yeah, they were saying all of that will help, and I was like, okay, great. So we'll see.
So what does a typical week in your life look like? Because you have a kid, you're on Selling Sunset, you're selling houses, you have a Pilates business. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I'm also coming out. I have like a hair and brow growth serum with Ema Rays that's going in Target. I had like a swim
You
drop.
have great hair. I would buy it.
Thank you. I'm like, I have so many different business ventures. So I swear every day I'm putting on a different business hat for whatever. And I kind of just like space that out during my week. But my main rules are that I wake up and go to sleep with my son, and my weekends are with my son. So those are like priority. And then everything else I just slot in between. I have a 5:30 a.m. workout. And like, yeah, it's just...
Your body's tea, girl.
Thank you.
It's so good. I'm like, okay, so give us a little spill the tea on Selling Sunset before we go. Just like what, because it's about to come out, right? Or is it new season?
It's very
You just wrapped
soon.
filming, right?
Yeah, but they're quick.
Oh, wow.
So they never tell us the dates because no one ever conceals them. They actually give them away. So Netflix stopped telling us. They were like, you bitches are fired. No more for you. So they took away all our knowledge. But I know we have a couple months for sure before it's out.
Is there any like small thing that you can give away that's like what we should be prepared for? Because I feel like it's going to be crazy.
Here we go.
There's two big ones. But I will say that there is no longer one castmate that has been here.
For a long time?
A decent amount. Yeah.
Wow.
What happens if you get fired? Like, does the cast, like, did they fire you? Like, how does that work? If they decide you're not doing, because whatever happened with Heather?
Yeah, so that is a slippery slope because technically, from what I know, she's not ever been fired.
Right. But she did do another show, a non-compete. Are you friends with Heather?
Yes, I love Heather.
Okay, I love Heather.
No, I love Heather. It's more of like, you know, when you get your contracts, there's certain verbiage, certain things, you have carve-outs for stuff. You know, so basically they just don't call you back type of vibe. So at that point, it's like...
Yeah, you're not, you don't get a call back.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's kind of like a hard...
Yeah, she did a competitive show.
Per se, but...
And she was never as good at the tea. She's so nice.
No,
I love Heather.
She really did play such a great role in our show, though, because it was like, even though she wasn't a lot of drama or super bitchy or whatever it was, she was really good at keeping the conversations going, asking questions without being like invasive and just like tying everybody together. I don't know. She just had this different role that I've never seen anyone else be able to fill.
Wow.
So I do really miss that aspect because there's a lot of like fun to her and bubbly, like cute, but also like she'll tell you real quick about yourself. So I do love that about her.
Wow, I'm glad that you actually, because I know I've seen you guys hang out, and then I know Heather personally, so I was like, oh wait, I hope they actually, because I'm like, she couldn't hurt a fly. Like, no, she's a good person.
No, definitely not.
Wow, okay, so someone's not going to be on the show, you guys. So Tej, is there anything else you want to add? Or
Yeah, I know you're not super into sports, but you know, maybe know a little bit about football. So we have this awesome season-long NFL Flex Championship contest coming up where you can win the coolest brand prizes, VIP experiences, be at the Super Bowl on the field with the players running out, be at the halftime performance, be on the field doing snow angels and the confetti afterwards. It's like you won the championship basically, right?
That
like
sounds fun.
You're in the game, and we have a ton of brand partnerships across Lululemon, Louis Vuitton, Aloe. So we are geared towards Gen Z women. 55% of our users are Gen Z women. They absolutely love everything we do from the brand perspective, giving away Louis Vuitton purses, Chanel purses, all these really cool trips to these incredible places. So if it was something like that presented to you that, hey, you got to pick like your 4 favorite players, football players, and you can do a quick pick, or you can pick whoever the cutest guys are, right? Like,
yeah, can I like see their faces?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay,
it's super visual,
that's the best.
super fun,
This is
right?
the most fun.
So if it was something
I
like
do that every time.
would you be interested in joining something like that? Like,
that sounds fun.
does that format sound good to you?
As long as you're not going to quiz me on who their
No,
names,
absolutely
I'm
not.
in.
Yeah, love
But
that.
could you
All right,
imagine
awesome.
picking like the hot guys, and then all of a sudden you win this experience, and you're like, hey babe, you want to go to the Super Bowl and go on the
Exactly.
field, you know?
No, I'm leaving him at home. What are you talking
Yeah, the
about?
girls
You're
trip.
going with your girl, right? Yeah, for sure.
You're one of the girls, and we're going out. So yes.
Yeah.
I love
That's incredible. We just had a Bachelor Contest, and 4 girls won this incredible VIP trip to Dorado Beach, Ritz-Carlton Reserve. They're going on a private yacht to Culebra and going snorkeling and doing all this fun stuff. So that's what we do at FanUp. And I think, you know, it's something that really resonates with Gen Z women especially.
I love that. Okay, now that would get me into sports.
Love
yeah,
that.
I think
All
you,
right.
dressing up cute. I was kind of sad that you missed the WAG era, because I'm like, you would be a fire WAG.
Definitely.
There's still
The
time,
looks,
okay? There's still time.
I know, literally, because
Just don't
we
link
need
up
you
with
as a
Tyreek Hill.
WAG. Well, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you every single week on FanUp, and thank you so much, Bre. You are incredible. Thank you for coming,
Thanks,
and
Bre.
it flew by.
Thank you so much.